always worried how people are going to take it. I'm probably more worried about whether it's going to be leaked by people. It's something that's taken a few years from its inception until when it's delivered to the record company to complete. And obviously, that's an immense amount of work. And yeah, you can guarantee that the moment anybody gets the record, it's put up on the internet. So just hoping that survives until the launch day. But yeah, I'm nervous and excited.
The screamings of the Valkyries come 4 years after existence in Futile. So when did you first plant the seeds for this new album? I mean, when did you start thinking and working on it?
Um, well, it took a little while to record because we had new members. It was also post-pandemic, so we were touring a lot. In fact, the album took a year to record because we would record a bit, go on tour, record a bit, go on tour. And also we put out a double live album in that interim as well. So I think that the next record we do will be a lot quicker on this one's heels because we've already started writing it and we're kind of looking at a period in which we're going to record it as well. Which just comes off the back of the fact that we've gone and done all the shows that we missed during the pandemic. So we're kind of caught up on those. And I don't know, when you bring a new album out, it's like it's a rejuvenator. You know, you feel like people have been critical of it in good and bad ways, whatever. And so you know the direction the next one should probably take. And it's a good period in which to exercise that kind of next option to actually make hay whilst the sun shines, which is an English expression. I guess there's little elements of lots of things in the title, but the main inspiration behind it, because it's actually a line from one of the songs, and I just thought, you know what, that works, and it sounds very heavy metal as well, so that's good. But it was inspired by the fact that currently mankind is a few seconds to midnight on the doomsday clock. And I was thinking about that crushing inevitability of a cataclysmic disaster or a world cataclysmic event signaled by a sign, like either a 100-foot tidal wave and you're standing in front of it, or a mushroom cloud appearing over a city, or in a more sort of classical metaphoric sense, the screaming of the people that are there to protect Asgard or heaven, like the angels falling to an immutable darker force, would signify a massive cataclysmic event, which will be Ragnarok, the end of everything. So basically, yeah, I just thought if it was a thing and you could hear Asgard or heaven or this other realm being overrun, and that the last bastions, our last protectors, the Valkyrie, are being slaughtered, and you could hear that, you would know that's it, that's the end of everything, which is a dark concept, but considered it actually hasn't occurred yet. It actually provokes a glimmer of hope at the same time.
Think about the lyrics. I heard tracks like To Live Deliciously or Demagoguery or Non Omnis Moria. They seem to weave mythological storytelling into contemporary or personal themes, if I may say so. So for you, what's the message or narrative you wanted to convey with this album, or what do you hope fans take away from the Screaming of the Valkyries?
Well, despite what I've just said, it is actually will take a positive message, because to live deliciously is obviously about embracing life. Non omnis moria is about embracing life and death and the bridge in between. And there's a lot of metaphors for strong, independent, much loved people, friends, family, in fact, there's a few songs that can, are very vampiric in nature, but if you break down the metaphors and the analogies, um, again, it's about family, ritualization, sex and death, um, religion, yeah, the human emotion, I would guess, would be a strong contender for the crux of the theme of the record. Um, and I was literally trying to shy away from the fact that I guess Existence is Futile was quite a dark, depressing album. And this is dark, it has all kinds of elements encased within. I mean, I can't really explain how the album is because there's so much going on. There's big, you know, tragic overtures and fast nocturnal war anthems, and it's there's a lot of things going on, lots of flavors and ingredients, albeit under a dark shadow. um but generally I think the record has a very sort of positive vibe. It's about escapism as well. I mean, I think metal in general has always been about escapism. That's why I got into metal, why I found it so attractive, was the union of artwork and music and stage presence and videos and lyricism that just encapsulated that whole magic of another time, another place, another realm, another set of possibilities.
If I may say so, the music is grand and solemn, but also fast and, I mean, I don't know how to say it, metallic in something pattern. But for me, it's perfectly reflecting Cradle of Filth essence, if I may say so. What kind of musical direction did you aim for this album?
I think our modus operandi was just to write an album full of catchy songs. We didn't want to overwork ourselves or overstretch ourselves by having special edition tracks or limited edition songs that are only available in Taiwan or whatever. We decided just no, we're going to write this amount of songs, and that's how many songs people are going to get to enjoy. And yeah, the emphasis was really on, doesn't really matter how the ingredients work. It's just at the end product has got to be just catchy, memorable, atmospheric. Yeah, ticking those boxes in particular, I think.
Think about your long career. The Screaming of the Valkyries is your 14th album, studio album. So, where do you feel Cradle of Filth stand in their career right now? I mean, how would you describe this moment for the band, for you?
Well, every album's a pivotal moment. Every album is monolithic. It stands on its own, and that's how we approach it. A lot of hard work has gone into its construction. Um, it stands at the forefront of what we're able to achieve. We've got a very strong and loyal lineup. Recently, Zoe, our keyboardist, married our other guitarist, Ashok, in Arizona. That was at the beginning of the year. I attended. It was great, amazing, in fact. So there's a very strong, positive vibe in the band. We've got great management, got great crew, we've got great, well, periphery people. Everybody that works for this band or involved with this band. It's taken 30 years to get to that point where everybody is very important and very part of this family, and that extends to probably about 50 different people. So we're very lucky in that respect, but that's only built out of trial and error, really, and just the evolution of being in a band. Um, so yeah, we're in a very good place, and one where we have a lucrative career, and one that we can plunder if we wanted to. I mean, I don't think there's such a thing as self-plagiarizing, especially if you've got a strong identity and you invented that identity. then I can't see why it's a problem to revisit or just, like I say about nostalgia, um, writing something in context of, oh my God, that sounds a little bit like so and so. Oh my God. And then you get that sort of whole vibe of what the band's trying to achieve. And yeah, I think we're in a really good place. We've seen scenes come and go. I mean, at 30 years, it's not quite Black Sabbath, but I mean, we're on the trajectory. We'll catch up when they're dead.
Glad to hear it. Well, as a musical journalist, I have a question to make it. Of course, don't worry if you don't like to answer. And it's about your collaboration with Ed Sheeran.
I can't talk about it. It's there's things in place at the moment to avoid talking about it.
Yeah,
Um,
sure.
it will. Don't worry. It's coming out. It just can't come out at the moment for various reasons. That can't be talked about. It's just it can't. It's got stuff doing. We've got stuff doing. And no means do I want it to overshadow this record. It's recorded. It's all done. It just has to wait for our orbit or this album's orbit and Ed's future orbit to just part.
And thinking about these kind of things in general, what is your opinion when artists of different musical genre, musical world collaborate? I mean, what's the most fascinating things about two seemingly distant musical worlds coming together?
Well, it's a challenge for a start, and I think I've always done stints with stranger people, like Twisted, for example, or the 69 Eyes, or Motionless in White, or Bring Me the Horizon. Um, and the reason being is because I like the juxtaposition of and the marriage of opposites. I think it's way more interesting. And if the final song is amazing, then it doesn't really matter where the ingredients came from. And the Ed song is incredible. It's very. It sounds like Ed Sheeran, and it sounds like Cradle of Filth. It's not a joke song, and I don't think there's been a marriage quite as distant as like one of the world's biggest artists, pop artists, and quite an infamous one of the world's heaviest artists, come together in this way and do a song that works, that doesn't sound like, oh my God, what the fuck is that, or oh my God, this is like a comedy song. Are they just doing it for radio so that they can earn money for charity or something like that? It's neither of those two things. And so with that in mind, it keeps people talking as well. People are like absolutely like, oh my God, I can't believe it. What does it sound like? And so yeah, I agree with it. I think it's quite a black metal thing to do something that's just so bizarre and unquestionably not black metal that it's better.
So thank you very much for your time.
Ciao.